ground is Geoffrey, and it's Geoffrey Boycott they're calling for on the balcony at Headingley. The man who today hit the 100th 100 of his career. What a wonderful career it's been. He did it in front of his home crowd, and he's the 18th player in the history of the game so to do, and the first player to achieve that milestone in a test match. We take you back now to the start of play, 11:30, when Boycott walked out onto the pitch with the England captain Mike Brearley, after Brearley had won the toss and decided to bat in perfect condition.
Richie Robinson is at short forward square. He retained his place in this game, having performed well in the match at Trent Bridge. He's made something of a specialty of that close-in position, unusual for a keeper to be able to do so. Batted very well in the last couple of games leading up to this Headingley test. Gone. Well, there's a big shout, and umpire Budd's given him out. Really out, caught by Marsh. Bowled Thompson, the first wicket to go, and umpire Budd had no hesitation in putting up the finger. There was certainly a sound. We can have a look and see if he might have struck the ground also. There was certainly a big deflection there, and all the fieldsmen behind the wicket and closer to the wicket. Richie Robinson on the right-hand side. We're up for the appeal. And here now is Geoffrey Boycott facing Max Walker. And he's off the mark now. 2 runs on the way to it. Ian Davis, the fieldsman. Fast outfield, no chance of cutting that off. Woolmer is off the mark. That's one shot. And Woolmer stroking that full toss away, squared the wicket on the offside. Very quick to seize on it.
His first boundary. Typical Boycott shot. That's the shot he plays so well. Just short of the length. Again, a question of perfect piece of timing and placement. Walker then to Woolmer. That's away through that little gap between Slit and Gully, running down the hill, and Walters can give that one up. And you get some indication there of the speed of this Headingley outfield. Oh, that's a lovely shot for 4. First really bad ball that Walker's bowled, and Boycott so quickly to latch onto it. His second 4, both coming off similar sort of shots. The short ball forced away square on the offside. And as he... difficult to see whether that was a chance or not. But, very disappointed. Max Walker there could well have just got a little outside edge on there. There's the deflection, certainly. Away to Marsh's right. Very difficult chance indeed.
It's a good shot. Full toss. score, having been on 50 for 20 minutes. Now umpire Ali is asking if the ball went over the rope. No third man, and it's lightning fast down that area. There's quite a big slope away from the pitch to the right-hand side of the ground as we look at it. Four runs to Boycott. Good shot through mid-on. There's a gap, a wide gap from the bowler to mid-wicket. I thought it was very quick to latch onto that half volley.
Well, it's found the gap this time. No need to run for that beautiful shot. Davis is giving chase, but as ever it hurries away down the last 20 or 30 yards to the ring here. All paid good money here today to watch this match, and takings already for this Test series, including advance bookings here and at the Oval, have passed the £500,000 mark. That's a chance, and it's caught by Chappell. So Thompson takes the wicket of Bob Woolmer. Little outside edge, good low catch going there to Greg Chappell at first slip. And Woolmer goes for 37. It's the faintest of outside edges, and Greg Chappell making no mistake this time. Dropped a couple up at Nottingham, but delighted to hold on to that one. And being congratulated there by his teammates. Thompson to Randall. Oh, that's a good shot for four. Well, he doesn't hang around normally, Derek Randall. He's on edge, he's moving, he wants to be playing shots, and played that very well. And that's four more. There's no third man. It's negotiated very skillfully this time by Randall. Played a good shot. It lifted. He played it down well through the gap between slit and gully. And Randall just got down on that in time. It swung in nicely. Right where he intended, but it's going to bring in 3 runs. So those 3 runs to Randall takes him on to 16 and brings up the 100 for England. It's taken 159 minutes. And 159 minutes of very competitive cricket out here. It's Pascoe to bowl again, this time to Randall. It's a friendly full toss. And it's struck very easily through mid-off, and the ball racing away down in the direction of the Perth Pavilion for 4 runs. And that's LBW, up goes the finger. Pascoe takes his first wicket. Randall goes LBW for 20. And the score moves on now to 105 for 3. No great problem there for Bill Ali to answer. Answered it immediately. Up went the finger and out went Randall.
edge. Water Boycott takes him into the 40s now, up to 41. That'll be Boycott's half century. He's half the way towards that record of being the first man to hit his 100 in a test match. Goes on now to 52. Greg is 8 and it's 129 for 3. Very sound innings from Boycott. Getting a standing ovation for his half century. Hardly dare think what will happen if the 3 figures come up. Quite time that, but it's very fast in the outfield, and there's no need for Davis to bother chasing it. The spectators can get that. It's first boundary to Tony Greig. That's a splendid hit from Tony Greig. 6 over Len Pascoe's head. Even if he'd been back on the fence, I think it would have gone over the top. Greg Chappell had him positioned in about 20 yards from the rope.
Oh, that's a good straight drive for 4 by Boycott. Slower ball, and Boycott reacted very quickly to it. Well, that straight drive by Boycott takes him on to 65, establishes the 50 partnership now between Boycott and Greig. Pascoe bowls again to Greig, and it's in the air, not far short of mid-off, but hit with sufficient power to force its way through for 4. Not normally very much help in this pitch early on for the spinner. This is Ray Bright, who just had the preference over Kerry O'Keefe for the 11th place in the side this morning. Beautifully placed shot. Starts with a half volley, a loosener, and once again Boycott very quick to latch onto it. It's driven very firmly and very correctly through the offside. He's cut away square past slip. That'll race down for 4 also. This is Boycott's 11th boundary out of his 75. Drive followed by the cut. And the big appeal goes up. Umpires don't have anything at all to do with it. Marsh again looks absolutely disgusted. So does Ray Bright, who's livid, snatched his cap away. Great demonstrations, and there is Bill Ali, quite right, telling the Australians exactly what he thinks about them. Greg Chappell going up to Ray Bright. He's possibly disappointed. He might well have thought that he did get an edge, but Greg Chappell there trying to cool him down. There's absolutely nothing you can never do about it on a cricket field once the umpire says not out. See again that last ball. I doubt whether we should be able to pick up very much from it as the umpire, as the wicketkeeper goes across and shields everything, but it was certainly a most confident appeal. And that's through this time. And a glorious cover drive by Boycott. And it really has to bring the best out of him, this, because this is a fairly closely packed off-site field that Bright's bowling to. And it requires really expert judgment to find the gaps.
Beautifully timed by Tony Greig. Hold him. And Thompson deserved that wicket. It looked as though Tony Greig played inside the line there. Not just have got back between bat and pad, but he was aiming away through extra cover. In fact, he was inside the line, just making an error of judgment in trying to hit it away a little bit too square and, in fact, playing across it in the end. So the fourth wicket goes down at 201. Tony Greig is out for 43, and Geoff Boycott is still there on 81. Graham Roop's last Test match was in 1975. It was in the Test at the Oval. On that occasion, he made a duck in the first innings and then hit a very good 77 in the second.
That's a glorious free shot off the back foot. Short, it's hooked away, it's in the air, but it's going to be safe. And a good shot, in fact, by Boycott. He got into position pretty smartly, pretty quickly there. That takes him 4 runs nearer. For the moment, it's Pascoe again, coming slightly downhill from the Kirksall Lane end. Boycott pushing it away for another single. He's quite happy to get him in ones. Should expect from an Australian tack, there's nothing being offered here to Boycott. Chappell just short of a length. And, Geoffrey Boycott just waiting and hoping for a nice half volley outside off stump. That's it. That's a half volley through mid-on for 4. The bat goes in the air. The England players come out to applaud what really has got to be a moment here of cricket history. Geoffrey Boycott, 100 hundreds and the place to get it in the middle of a Test match against Australia on his home ground at Headingley. Superb performance from the moment he came in. Taken 319 minutes, he's hit 14 fours, and it's his 1400 in Test match cricket. His 5th against Australia, but his first ever against Australia on this ground. And for once in a while, I suppose one can forgive this demonstration. This Yorkshire crowd have been here since early this morning, waiting, hoping and praying that this might be the day for Boycott to join the other band of cricketers who made 100 hundreds in first-class cricket. He's in fact the 18th to do it. He's the 3rd Yorkshireman. Herbert Sutcliffe made 149 hundreds and Leonard Hutton 129. Boycott at the age of 36 goes through to 100 hundreds in first-class cricket. A day which everybody on this ground will remember, and you can be sure that for years to come they'll be telling their children and their grandchildren that they were here at Headingley the day that it all happened. It really is quite a fantastic comeback this to Test match cricket. You consider what has gone on over the last 2 or 3 years. Out in the byways, content to carry on and play for Yorkshire. Missed a lot of Test cricket. He said he was worried about playing against the quicker bowlers, but he's come back and proved that he's a master of all. And that's the fellow that's got it. And he comes on it. I think that's the white rose on the Yorkshire cap that he's handing to Bill Ali. So back comes the cap, which has seen him through to this very memorable 100. Well, it could be that we're ready to get back on with the game of cricket now. Well worth seeing again, a very memorable shot. Our volley clipped beautifully through mid-on, just as well that Graham Roop got out of the way.
Slow up the ball, and still a lovely shot away through mid-wicket. Hit it a little bit in the air, but there is a big gap there between Max Walker and the stumps. A lovely piece of placement. Max Walker to bowl the second over with the second new ball. That was a real loosener from Max. He's done a long stint today, 26 overs, and that was the sort of delivery of a man just starting his 27th. The 250 goes up, 252 for 4, and the number of overs has changed now. 1 bowled with the second new ball. Well bowled by Walker, and Roop survives on 19. Boycott is 110. Boycott and Roop have shared this very good partnership of 52. Not even the police can save Geoffrey Boycott from friendly buffeting. It's 252 for 4, and Geoff Boycott is 110.
Well played, fantastic. Do you want that as well? No. I'll go over there, Jeff. I don't think you can hear yourself think or talk, but all I can say is well played, fantastic, Geoffrey.
Oh, it's a miracle, really. I don't believe it could happen, but it has.
In front of your own crowd?
Yeah, it's magic, really. I would like to have done it here more than anywhere, in front of my own Yorkshire public. I mean, you can see the reception they're giving me has been absolutely marvellous, but quite honestly, this is the sort of reception they're giving me over my whole career, really. They've been absolutely fantastic. I mean, today is just a very special occasion, but normally they're doing marvellous. Whenever we play county cricket, any sort of match, they're fabulous. And I'm really pleased for them as well as myself. It's a dream come true, and I wouldn't have believed it could have happened here.
Geoffrey, there's your towel, the little towel down. You got your cap back, he brought it back to you, did he?
The lad he brought it back. He's a good Yorkshireman, he brought it back.
And you've taken fresh card for a second 100.
Oh, I don't know that.
Thanks very much.
What a wonderful looking card it is now from Geoff Boycott's point of view, and indeed from England's point of view, because that last little partnership between Boycott and Graham Roop has just set the seal on what they'd done up to that point. If they'd lost another wicket at that stage, then England might well have been a little bit low this evening. As it is, they're right up on the top of the tree. They've done wonderfully well, and they start off tomorrow with Boycott. If they'd lost another wicket at that stage, then England might well have been a little bit low this evening. As it is, they're right up on the top of the tree. They've done wonderfully well, and they start off tomorrow with Boycott and Roop in action. Roop's been a little bit indecisive, but Boycott has helped carry him through. They start off against the second new ball, just a couple of overs old, and there's no reason at all on this pitch why they shouldn't go on to a big total. The Australian bowlers, I thought, toiled very well today. Thompson bowled extremely well under difficulties. He's not well at the moment. Pascoe bowled well, and Max Walker was superb and very, very unlucky once again. He's just one of those chaps we say is unlucky, but today I thought he bowled really well. So England very much on top. And what a day for Geoffrey Boycott.
3 wickets. Day 2, and Max Walker bowls to Graham Root.
That's a very pleasant off drive by Root, no need to run. Just stood there and admired the shot. Half volley. Ball there by Walker without a mid-off. That's another half volley dispatched again. Very successfully by Root. Square on the offside this time, so he collects 2 boundaries. Helps himself to 8 runs from Max Walker's first over. Beaten Davies. 2 fairly comfortable runs in this. It's still running away, and Boycott got his eye on the 3rd. And that's surely out. Walter's taken a good catch at 3rd slip. So Thompson comes back, gets his revenge for a lot of playing and missing there by Graham Root. And a thick and firm edge going into the safe hands of Walters at 3rd slip. Graham Root then out for 34, caught Walters, bowled Thompson. England losing the first wicket of the morning. Too much for Boycott. Really made that hustle through.
284 for 5, 122 to Boycott, 2 to not. Man out last. Just a 2nd slip. There was a 3rd slip there when Thompson was bowling. Just that's a bit of that. It was Doug Walters, I think. And he's been pushed out now to cover point, leaving the gap between McCosker at 2nd slip and Bright at gully. First ball of Lenny Pascoe's spell. Good leg cutter.
First spell, in fact, for Ray Bright from this football stand end. Just bowled half a dozen overs yesterday from the far end, the Kirkstall Lane end. So he's going to bowl to Boycott with a forward short leg underslip. Good shot by Hawks, but can't prevent the single from Boycott. That's a typical daring, not sweet shot. So that brings up the 300, and a shot worth seeing again. That's a good shot. Burned the strike, moved nicely into line. It's ball through mid-off with Boycott. And his first boundary of the morning off the middle of the bat. Racing down the hill. Very, very fine leg guns. So a 50 partnership brought up now between Boycott and Bob. Bright to not. A nice full toss. It goes through for 4 as well. Same position that he put him away in the previous over. A very friendly full toss, and enough to push Robinson back now. Oh, and that's fiddled away. Very, very late. much room between Greg Chocolate slip there. He doesn't think too much about that.
It's 150 for Jeff Boycott. David Hicks, the man coming round. And a nice piece of fielding from him. And a glorious throw. The Boycott goes on to 151. It's taken 490 minutes. And he's hit 19 boundaries. So just on half the number of runs have come from fours. 151 out of 342.
That's steered away nicely by Knott. Bring up the 100 partnership. Robinson, you can be certain, will chase it as hard as he can go, but even he can't stop it. Well, a very effective partnership, this by Knott and Boycott. It was a very exhilarating one. The 100 stand has taken 162 minutes. But it's put England in pretty nigh an invincible position now. 378 for 5 with Alan Knott, one away from his 50, and Boycott on 161. That's hammered straight past him, a full toss, a rare full toss from Walker. And Boycott making the most of it. Knott to face Ray Bright. Just dobbed away just in front of him. They scurried through. It is 50 for the little Kent and England wicketkeeper. Adding a 50 to that brilliant 100 he made at Trent Bridge. Innings of completely different character. This 50 has taken 167 minutes. And it's contained 6 boundaries. So 50 out of a total of 383 for 5. And there's overthrows there. Oh, Max Walker looking very wary. Hadn't moved at all to cover the throw coming in from David Hicks. So Boycott will collect 5 runs for that. A single plus 4 for the overthrow. So much to the displeasure again of Ray Bright. Hasn't had the happiest of matches here at Headingley. Oh, he's having a go. Lofted that way over the top of David Hicks at mid-off. And really made the crowd sit up. First really aggressive shot. Played for a very long time. First time that either of these two have ever thought about lofting the ball into the vacant spaces in the outfield. And is out this time, LBW. His foot a long way down, and Marsh is telling him to go. Alan Knott's very happy, but very unhappy, but Lloyd Budd's finger went up almost instantly. So Alan Knott goes, the 6th man out, made 57. Departed at a time, and it looked as though he might just have been going to have a little bit of a go. Command there, a wicket falls in the very first over that he's in charge. And that's bowled him. The quicker one there, he got on the back foot, it hurried through. It's a good over for Ray Bright, and Marsh there as the captain has seen 2 wickets tumble in a single over. Ian Botham, a disappointment for him, out for naught. Last ball of the over. The ball hurrying through, straightened up quite nicely. So he's the 7th man out, 398. And must be an even money chance now of Boycott batting all the way through this innings.
Beautiful strike. Keith. third-man boundary. And the 400 comes up for England, 400 for 7. They were 339 for 5 at lunch. And a good bit of spin there for Ray Bright. The one that bowled Botham straightened nicely. Just a matter of a couple of inches to beat the edge and hit the off stump, and so did that one. Unstraightened and found the edge. Very fine. Captain waiting to come back out again. I'm not too sure that he mightn't get the wave from Rodney Marsh, having picked up a couple of wickets while he's been off the field. 4 runs. Taken 2 wickets with the ball, and he's now taken a magnificent catch to complete his 3rd dismissal and give Lenny Pascoe his 2nd wicket of the innings. That was one of the great catches of all time. Man out, Derek Underwood for 6, caught Bright, bowled Pascoe, and what a good day Ray Bright is having. I had the impression it was probably Rodney Marsh's, but we can get a better glimpse of it on the replay. A little outside edge.
It's a glorious shot. First time he's really cracked one through the offside off Bright. Super shot there from Boycott. It's Hendrick to face Pascoe again. And that's out. Little catch pushed into Richie Robinson, who's been hanging around in that short position there for 2 days. At last he's got his rewards. So a fairly gentle catch offered by Hendrick, but Robinson made no mistake. So Hendrick goes for 4. He's the 9th Englishman out. The score's on 422, and that's the way he went. Muskin, if that was off the pad, Rodney Marsh has tried a little contrick there. He's walked off in the direction of the pavilion. That ball going straight off the pad into Silly Point's hands. It's like a bit of gamesmanship there by the Australian keeper. Delicate leg glance. Jeff Thompson is no slouch in the field. There's no way he could get across to cut it off. It's like a marble on a skating rink going down there to beat fine leg. That's beaten him with delivery. Pascoe's got up in there. I can't think why. Bill Alley enjoyed that. And that's it. And he's gone. Well, what a great anticlimax there. Great disappointment to this crowd as Geoffrey Boycott is the 10th man out, looking to have carried his bat through the innings. He falls at long last for a superb innings of 191 made out of an England total of 436. And the Headingley crowd rising to welcome home their hero.
The wicket was still playing well as the Australian openers Rick McCosker and Ian Davis walked out to bat. We pick up play in the 2nd over with Hendrick bowling to Davis.
Asking for LBW and he's given him out. So another sad, sorry failure for Ian Davis. What a miserable trip he's had. But it's a magnificent start for England, and particularly for Mike Hendrick.
And what a tough little 40 minutes this is going to be for the Australians. It's not quite so tough while Bob Willis continues to feed Rick McCosker around that leg stump where he's so strong. That's a good shot. He picked that really off about middle and leg. There's all that much wrong with the delivery, but it was a beautifully timed and placed stroke. It's a no ball call. It's right over the top. See if the left-hand side of the ground there did in fact reach the ropes on the full, not according to umpire Alley, although Underwood was standing right up against the grab. In fact, he's changed his mind. Bill Alley has changed his mind now and called 6. So, 4 to Chappell. And he's got him. Really has caught him at first slip. Good catch. And a good piece of bowling as well. A ball of full length that moved away in the air. Well bowled by Hendrick. Always a sad thing for a batting side to lose a wicket of any kind, but to lose the number 1 batsman in the side is a tragedy, particularly when you have a total of 436 against you. It's 4 in the air through gully, straight past Bertham. No chance, but Brooks's favourite area is away square of the wicket on the offside. Don't often see Bob Willis bowl an outswinger. A very good shot. Quickly into position for that. Brisk answer to the bouncer. Moving a little dangerously.
Very quick work there by Randall. Brilliant piece of work. McCosker run out back in it. And you won't see anything much quicker than that on any cricket field in the world. England boys absolutely right. What a tremendous piece of field. And the shattered, disillusioned, disgusted McCosker. Disgusted with himself for backing up so far when Randall was swooping in. Pushing away, setting off for a single. McCosker goes and has to come back. And look at the speed of Randall there. Just the 1 wicket to aim at. And McCosker left really high and dry. No chance at all. And that's another fine shot. Forced away off the back foot. 4-4. There's been some really good cricket since the Australians started their innings here. Both on strikes. He walked right across his wicket there. Tried to force a good length, perfectly straight ball on the onside. David Hooks has fallen LBW so many times on this tour. Goes again in identical fashion, this time to Ian Bolton. You'll see here that Hooks' right foot goes in line. He attempts to push a good length straight ball away on the onside, played right across it. He's managed to find a gap between the 6 of them. Well, Tony Greig can give that away. It's speeding up towards that boundary. Robinson gets 4 for it. Well, if there was a gap there, it was a slight one between the 3 slips and the 3 gullies. And there's a chance, and it's gone, and Walters falls again. Hendrick takes another catch. Botham strikes for his 2nd wicket, and disaster for Australia. Dougie Walters, another failure in England. He goes for 4, caught Hendricks, bowled Botham, and 5 Australians are now out, and the score is a faltering.
Australians wouldn't have been over happy with the conditions at Headingley on the 3rd day of the 4th Test match. Cloudy, a little bit overcast, and ideal for swing and seam bowlers. They resumed at 67 for the loss of 5 wickets. The overnight not-out batsmen were Robinson on 6. Marsh hadn't yet scored, and they still needed another 170 runs to avoid the follow-on. We pick up play now in the 2nd over of the day. It's Mike Hendrick bowling from the football stand end, and Richie Robinson is the batsman.
4 runs. Well, that's Robinson's favourite shot. He takes his chance there every time he plays it, because most times his feet aren't in the same line as the ball. Gets the left foot out a little bit, but he's well away from the ball, still gets it in the middle of the bat. That's a good catch. What a marvellous piece of wicket-keeping by Alan Knott. It wasn't a bad stroke from Rodney Marsh, but he's gone again, this time for 2. He glanced it pretty well and just gave Alan Knott enough opportunity to get across. Super piece of wicket-keeping, that. One wicket-keeper to another. Turned it off the middle of the bat. And that would have been 4 runs, but for that glove intercepting it. So a super piece of work there by Alan Knott. You're going to hit him off the edge and hit him very, very hard. That's the answer. He's a great competitor, this fellow. Out. Tony Greig. 2nd attempt, but he hung on to it. He was moving very fast, and Hendrick looks almost as relieved as does Tony Greig. 87 for 6 was, and now it is 87 for 7. Robinson out for 20. Caught Tony Greig, bowled Mike Hendrick. The Australians talk about their devil's number being 87. Pretty useful catch by Greig. It was going fast and about face height.
Max Walker.
Good shot. Alan Knott again. Max Walker playing the same shot. He failed to make contact against Mike Hendrick. Has gone for 7. Caught Knott. Bowled Botham, and Botham has his 4th wicket. The big outswinger. Alan Knott takes it 100 for 8. That's a good delivery from Botham. It's his 5th wicket. 5 wickets again. Tremendous performance for a young fellow to come into a test side and in successive test matches take 5 wickets in an innings. He's bowling not all that quickly. He's gentle medium pace, but he's shown good control in both games. And here this morning he's bowled really well. He's 5 for 19 at the moment. And that one just moved enough off the seam to beat Thompson's forward stroke.
Not bowled him, so justice done in the end for Mike Hendrick, winding up this Australian innings. Dramatic collapse here at Headingley with Australia now 103 all out.
There's an old saying in Australia, it's not pretty and it's not bad, it's just pretty bad. And that's the way that card looks there, 103 all out, including 6 extras. Just 3 men in double figures. McCosker, the run out, 27. 2 other men, David Hooks, 24, and Richie Robinson, 20. And all the other wickets falling to the 2 men, Hendrick, who picked up 4 for 41, and Ian Botham, a splendid effort of 5 for 21, following on his triumphs at Trent Bridge. Mike Brearley enforced the follow-on, 333 behind Australia, a tremendous deficit. Here's Bob Willis now, bowling the first over of the second innings. Ian Davis is the batsman.
Oh, gets a nasty one. Really very nasty delivery there from Willis. Lifted and cut back inside. Pitching outside off stump, coming back like a very sharp off break.
Oh, that's got to be very close indeed. Ooh. It's a good eye from Rick McCosker. An equally good stroke. It's a lovely shot from Ian Davis. He's 16 now, and all 16 have come boundaries. And that's out. Umpire Ali giving Davis out, caught down the leg side. 31, the partnership realised. And Davis is out for 19. Caught not, bowled Greg. Greg has broken the partnership. Precisely why he was brought on. He wasn't brought on in a defensive capacity to keep runs down. But it's because Brearley holds the opinion that he is a partnership breaker along the lines of Doug Walters. And he has done it, not with one of his greatest ever deliveries, but with one that was going down the leg side. So Alan Knott now has made his 250th dismissal as a wicket-keeper for England. He does hold the record. He's now extended it to 250. He beat Godfrey Evans' previous record of 219 when he stumped Lawrence Rowe at the Oval last year. So it's a terrific performance from Alan Knott over the years for England. Just a word again from Tony Greig about the ball. Obviously there's enough in it for umpire Ali to discuss it with Lloyd Budd. And it looks as though they're going to make a change. There's big pockets in the umpire's coats, carry a multitude of things. Umpires in Australia carry little packages or purses with scissors and knives and screwdrivers. in case a toe plate works loose from one of the bowlers. Safety pins, also 1 or 2 spare balls. Well, that was very, very interesting. They've got a new ball there, and that ball swung a great deal. First ball with the change ball, and it really did get offline. No wonder Tony Greig's looking pleased with that. That sometimes is the purpose for changing the purpose of changing the ball. I think that's probably missing leg stump. Yes, it looked as though it would have gone about 6 inches down the leg side. The Australians were bowled out for 103 this morning, having started at 67 for 5. That's the story of their scorecard, with only the 3 men, 27, 24 and 20, McCosker, Hooks and Robinson. And that's a good delivery, unmoved. Umpire Ali at the bowler's end. Didn't move a muscle or the index finger. And it came off the left pad, so it was a pretty good decision. And that is out, and it's another great catch. McCosker gone on the stroke of lunch. 35 for 2 Australia. McCosker brilliantly caught again by Alan Knott. 2 marvellous catches in this innings, as well as one in the first innings to dismiss Rodney Marsh. And it's 35 for 2 at lunch. Australia having followed on 333 behind.
Appeal turned down. David Hooks pushing his right leg a long way down the pitch there. There's a tendency, of course, to play across the line of a good length straight ball. It's caused his downfall on more than one occasion. He's in to complete his over. Beats Hooks again outside the off stump. So another good over this from Tony Greig. The ball wobbling around still here at Headingley, where following on Australia have made 43 for 2. 333 adrift on the first innings, 43 for 2 now. 2 umpires have just had a minor discussion there. Whether it was about the light or not, but they're carrying on with Hendrick de Boulder-Chapel. Similar sort of shot that caused his downfall in the first innings. Found the middle all right this time. It's again square on the onside. Boulder-Chapel very keen to make 3 into it for David Hooks. So there's 3 runs, bringing up the 50 for Australia, and making a better fist of it in this innings than they did in the first. 50 for 2. And he's asked once more, and once more he's been turned down. A few words, but I think in the friendliest possible manner there between Greig and Bill Ali. Put that away. There's nobody out there on the boundary. Slowly and surely it's making its way to the ropes. runs here, off the back foot this time, struck firmly. Randall giving chase, and there was a chance that he might just pull it up inside the ropes. He does that, but David Hooks takes 3, and it's been a good over for the young left-hander. And the applauses for that long sprint back by Derek Randall. Hendrick coming in to complete his 8th over. And the question asked, and he's given him out this time, and David Hooks falls again in a manner which he's threatened to do ever since he came in. There's been at least half a dozen appeals rejected from the bowling of Tony Greig, but he falls in the end to Hendrick, once again in similar fashion, going across the line of a perfectly straight ball. So it was LBW at that top end to both them in the first innings, off almost the identical shot, and falls again in this second innings. Out for 21, he's the 3rd Australian out. The total is on 63, which means still 270 runs behind England. That was a fine ball. Greg's asking, I think, why? Because it moved so much that it beat the bat. Fine ball. One has almost lost count of the number of times Dougie Walters has fallen to this slip and gully catch. Moved away quite nicely from Walters.
Didn't think he'd, that's Greg Chappell, would anticipate any great bouquets for the batting of the team in the first innings on the 2 days. Seeking to address that balance, playing a very, very long innings. Runs to Greg Chappell. Great shot. My mind flashed back there to Perth in 1974 when Dougie Walters reached his 100 with a shot like that off Bob Willis. That's safe. It was almost identical with the stroke that brought about Greg Chappell's dismissal in the first innings. Ball not quite there for the drive and moving away in the air. He's aiming away through extra cover, and he's now gone on to 14. One shot by Greg Chappell, and I think he had a word with Tony Greig at the same time, to indicate that that's not quite the length to bowl. It was a dangerous thing to do to a bowler, because you might suddenly find you getting the outside edge with the next one. That was very short. It's a good stroke by Chappell. Tony Greig has been taken off at the football stand end. Bob Woolmer is to be the bowler. Bit of swing out there for all the bowlers. Woolmer, who bases his bowling on that particular thing, could be quite useful to Brearley. That's the area they look for Walters, but he's got it away between the 2 gully fieldsmen and has gone on now to 15. Well, that's close. It's worth a shot, and certainly Botham and Knott gave it a shot. We find it difficult to see from here because the batsman's body obscures the stroke. It might just have been an inside edge, and it might just have been going past leg stump as well.
been fairly slow progress from the Australians in this innings compared with the way they went about it in the first innings. But I think it's been much more sensible batting with much more likelihood of survival.
It's Bob Woolmer to bowl. And that must be close. Yes, up goes the umpire's finger. And Woolmer, what a good bowling change that has been. Dougie Walters, LBW for 15. And Bob Woolmer coming on and taking that very vital wicket in on his second over. Further disaster then for Australia. And no question you can get a very good bird's eye view of that LBW decision. Close indeed. And two good outswingers and one back into Robinson. Very nearly got it through. So as soon as the spectators are settled, it's both them to bowl again to Chappell. Oh, that's a lovely shot for four. It'll race away again from Bob Woolmer. And we're bringing the 100 up, 101 for four now. Greg Chappell moving on to 24. And Brearley still able, of course, to maintain this attacking field. 6 close catches, wicket-keeper not, 3 slips, 2 gullies, and both of them from the Kirkstall Lane end. Didn't know very much about that. Went to whip that away on the leg side, found an outside edge, lobbed in the air, could really have gone anywhere, but fell to safety on the offside. See how he tried to work this ball on the onside. Found the outside edge. He wasn't quite sure where it had gone, but obviously breathed a sigh of relief on his way to drop safe. So can Mike Brearley pull off the trick again? He's switching Tony Greig to have a go from the Kirkstall Lane end. Richie Robinson will remember this start. He's at 36 balls. He's just made 3 scoring shots. He faces Greig now. And gets some there. Short, forced away nicely off the back foot. Randall once more in hot pursuit. And Robinson gets 2 for it. And Greig with his happy knack every now and again of pulling a really good ball out of the bag. Very, very close to the stumps. That enabled him with a good body action to move it away off the pitch. And so it's going to be most interesting to see whether, in fact, Derek can get any spin out of this pitch. We saw Ray Bright certainly straighten up 1 or 2 quite nicely yesterday. But, not quite sure on a dry wicket whether Derek is as big a spinner of the ball as Ray Bright. That's well bowled, held back nicely flighted, a little bit of spin there. Safely kept out. Chaplet counted them well. It's the end of the Underwood over, and Australia at tea, 114 for 4 with Chappell on 29 and Robinson on 6.
After tea, there were just 4 balls bowled, one of them a wide, and then umpire Ali moved across to have a word with Lloyd Budd, and they decided that the light was too bad to continue. They had a word with the Australian batsman, and off they went. Light rain began to fall and it became heavier. It seemed that there was no chance of any further play, and then suddenly they came back on the field when conditions improved around 6:25. They bowled 11 balls in 9 minutes, and Richie Robinson made just 5 runs, so it didn't materially affect the whole business. It just means that the Australians now have to go through Monday and Tuesday and try and save this game. There's no chance at all of them winning it, as far as I'm concerned.
Play possible until after lunch. Willis now bowls to Chappell.
That's a good shot. We'll see whether the outfield has slowed. In fact, it certainly has done. That would have gone through for 4 without any bother at all. But Graham Root able to turn and chase it. Willis coming downhill to Robinson. Good one as he's bowled since play was resumed here.
Willis seems to be bouncing just a little bit more today than the wicket was. Seemed to die a little bit each day, and the bounce was a little bit less each day.
And that's it, and it's taken. Beautifully caught at second slip. Greg Chappell goes, but Willis takes up his first wicket of this innings, and a very vital one indeed. It's a wicket the England boys wanted. Greg Chappell had been very unhappy out there with the light. And Willis finding the outside edge. Greg Chappell out for 36. Caught Greg, bowled Willis. This is the way it happened. Just a fraction late, played slightly inside it, and a joyous Greg tosses the catch high. So another disappointment for the Australian captain. Out for 36, but he'd battled away hard for a very long time. Just on 3 hours for those 36 runs, and that makes the Australian total now 130 for 5. It's a fresh over now from Mike Hendrick. Robinson to face. That's a lovely shot. It's hit with quite sufficient power to get a 4 here on the slower outfield here today. Beautiful shot by Robinson. See the way he really lent into this one. And he swung himself off his feet there. Incredible sort of shot this. Made certain there. The bat goes up in the air. Really gave that a very, very hearty crack indeed. And the solidarity of that stocky figure behind that really lent into that one. Australia have taken the total on to 142 for 5. It's the wicket Ian Chappell to go, 120 for 4 when they started out at 2 o'clock. It's Willis to bowl again to Marsh. Over pitch ball, it's hammered through the offside this time. And a third 4 to Rod Marsh. Taking Willis to task, 2 4s in this over. Brings up the 150. Marsh going on to 13, 150 going up. This is going to be the day set aside by Rod Marsh for his return to Test match form. I think he saw a great deal of that.
delivery. Not a good piece of fielding by one of the best fieldsmen in England. Of all fellas to put one down, Graham Roop has done it, and it was a fairly straightforward chance, which I think he might have been grabbing at a little. That's just about the best delivery of the morning. I reckon that started a round leg stump. In fact, a fraction outside leg stump. And that's the agonising thing for a bowler. That's a good shot. The second last stroke was quite a good cut, though, a bit cramped for room, and that was a glorious square cut.
The Headingley crowd can now taste victory in the fourth test. Botham now bowls to Walker.
That's 4 runs. Max Walker's starting off in this innings from where he finished off in the first. He's flinging the bat at just about everything. That is over. Botham has finished his 15th over. 11 runs came from it. He has none for 42. It's 191 for 7.
Well, this is Mike Hendrick still plugging away from his football stand end. Been in action down here since play resumed at 2 o'clock, so a spell of an hour and a half. This will be his 11th over in this spell. But a profitable one. He's collected 2 wickets. And gives Rod Mars something to think about there. Hendrick to Marsh again. Really powered that one away. Sunday afternoon slog round the leg side. Picked it up in the middle. This is 8-4. Real action stuff here on Rod Marsh. Beat Alan Knott, and we'll beat Derek Underwood too. So the 200 total being reached by Australia in the second innings. 200 for 7. That's in the air, but safe. Tripped again very hard by Marsh, wide of mid-on, just some 3 or 4 yards away to Underwood's left. So the much-needed single for the 50. Thick outside edge. So he's rather pleased about that. And in a very long run of low scores, and Rodney Marsh is always the most attractive player to watch when he's in form. And it's a good way to come back to form in a test match, given 50 in 79 minutes. And that included as many as 9 fours. And Greg now to Walker. Tried him with a bouncer. Max Walker offered no objection at all to that one. Tony Greg never really quick enough to goal a bouncer, even at a late order batsman. And, very definitely put away by Walker. Has he caught him? He's dropped him. Really hammered that one back. It's the sort of chance normally that Tony Greig's only too happy to cling hold of, especially off his own bowling. Up goes that big hand. Seemed to be taking it fairly nonchalantly. To big with 2, 3, 4 times it evades him.
That's beautifully in the middle of the bat. There's no outfield. It's quite a safe stroke from Max Walker. And the half-century partnership comes up. In the air. Safe. Only just. Graham Rupert, the fieldsman. Matter of 2 or 3 yards there. He made good ground to it. And Walker has picked up 3 runs. It's 88 overs gone. Just 10 minutes to go to tea. And it is the new ball, in fact. Umpire Lloyd Budd, Artis End, has taken it out of the cellophane wrapper. Hold him. Good one, too. Coming back inside the stroke. The breakthrough with the second new ball. Well done, Brearley and Willis. Brearley for taking it at that point, and Willis for delivering the blow that broke the partnership and dismissed Walker for 30. Came back between bat and pad, flicked the pad, and then knocked back the middle stump. So the partnership was from 179 to 244, 65 runs for Max Walker and Rodney Marsh. And it's now 244 for 8. Another very good delivery from Willis. Again, the in-swinger. Very late. It's 245 for 9. Marsh is 62. And Thompson is out without scoring. A pair for Jeff Thompson. And a very good piece of bowling from Bob Willis. Once again, it's the pad intervening. The ball flicking off the pad and this time hitting the off stump. And to take Jeff Thompson's place is Len Pascoe. And the last rites of this test match and this particular Ashes battle all but done. Bob Willis now to Pascoe. It's 245 for 9. No ball. Just casting an eye across to Irving Rosewater's scoring sheet. It's rather an odd looking over from Bob Willis. .1 to start off with to Rodney Marsh. That's no score for the first ball, 1 of the second, then wicket, no ball, wicket, no ball. What a useful delivery that was. I don't think I'd like to have been on the receiving end of that. Lenny Pascoe is a little bit lucky it was far enough outside off stump. By the time it got down to Alan Knott, he was taking it down the leg side. Well played by Pascoe. 246 for 9 at the end of that over, and Bob Willis had the single taken from it and picked up 2 wickets. So the advent of the second new ball has completely broken through the Australian batting and has given England this chance to wrap up the Ashes. It's in the air. Derek Randall is under it. He's taken it safely, and the Ashes are regained by England for only the third time this century. 1926, 1953, and now in 1977. And the England captain, Mike Brearley, must be the most delighted man in the country today. All out 248. Australia in their second innings, defeated by an innings and 85 by what is now a very, very good England team. Mike Brearley, the England captain, with the rest of his players just going onto the balcony. Marsh was caught Randall, bowled Hendrick for 63. And this is how the last wicket fell to give England the Ashes, lost in 1974-75, into the safe hands of Derek Randall.
Jubilant scenes as the Yorkshire supporters hail their hero, Geoff Boycott, man of the match with 191 runs.